Hello friends, this is Scott, and I'm in my backyard at my compost bin, and I'm taking a look at all my little cinder block nooks and crannies that I've got here that I used last year to plant strawberries. And as you see here, everything is settled. Now, I made this compost bin a year ago or so, so I knew there's going to be some settling. And as you can see, there's a few strawberries that are still there, but most of the soil and the organic matter has disappeared. So today's day is to maximize this growing space in a small urban yard, and I'm going to remove these strawberries and replant. So the first step is I'm digging out the remaining strawberries that are still alive, and they're doing okay. I'll just put them to the side right now, and I will fill these back up with soil and replant. But I've got to see how many cells I have here that have viable strawberries. And I think there's 26 to 30 different places to plant. There's some good deep roots. And I've just got to see how many I've got to go find some more strawberries throughout the yard. So the nice thing about strawberries is, they volunteer all over the place. And there's always strawberry plants to dig up and to move and reuse. My compost bin is a mess, and I need to put a front on it this year. I've just been piling stuff in here, and I haven't done my full spring cleanup yet as I'm getting going on some planting projects, but it's all a process, and I'll get it done as I get it done. Now, I filmed this video a few days ago, and when I still had some soil left from my other projects that I got, my first load of compost. So I'm just going to fill up all the individual cells, pack it down as best I can. It'll continue to settle, but again, it's a multi-year process, and organic matter always disappears, so it's not a big deal just to pull up the plants, refill the cells, and then replant the plants. But this is a good mix, and I'll try to get as much soil down in it as I can so that hopefully I have less work to do in the future. Commercially, when you see strawberry planters for sale, there are all these little towers with all individual cells. So this is the same concept as that. Strawberries love to grow in small places. The biggest challenge I have in this bed is keeping it wet, keeping it moist. The roots do go down deep. The sprinklers hit it very well, but the sprinklers aren't on yet, so I got to make sure that I keep this bed watered. Even though I live in a smaller suburban yard, and I do plant a lot of different crops and flowers, I like to maximize my space and put the same crop in multiple places in my yard. As we all know, certain plants will do better in certain areas than others, and so it's just a good insurance policy to make sure you have plants of the same variety in different sections so that you can have a crop if it happens to fail or have an issue in one area of the yard. So I believe I only had 8 viable strawberry plants that I recovered from the bins. So I went back to the old strawberry bed, and I've got plenty of little volunteer plants through this bed. So I'll just grab what I need, probably 20 or so. And I'll take those up and transplant them and use those as my fill-ins. I don't like to waste anything. I don't like to kill plants unnecessarily. I'm no pacifist, but if I can grow a plant and there's a spot for it in the yard, I will transplant it versus just tear it up and throw it away. That philosophy gets me in trouble sometimes, i.e. horseradish. I moved horseradish around and planted it in various areas, and it's happened to done well in all areas. So I've got too much horseradish that I need to get rid of some. So here's a look at the strawberries I dug up. They're not the prettiest transplants in the world, but they'll do. And they'll take off well in the bin like they did last year, as they like that location. Everything seems to grow well over here since I pruned the tree. As you see, the tree in the background's a big maple tree, and I took out some major limbs last year, and it brought in a lot more sun. And right above where I'm planting right now, I plant the zucchini, and they just love it here. So it's a great place. It took me many years to find the right spot for zucchini, and now I found it. Now these little cells are going to be hard to mulch, so I'm just going to make sure that I keep this well watered. And when the sprinklers start being turned on in the spring, another month or so, this area will just be automatically watered. But until then, until these get established, I'll need to be out here with the hose and just make sure I keep these cells, because there's not a lot of soil, so they can dry out fast, and I can lose these transplants if I don't stay on top of this daily. Well, here's a look at the planted strawberries. And thanks again for watching my videos. The channel is growing nicely, and I appreciate all your support. If you'd like to check out my year in review videos from last year, they'd be interesting to see how this brown yard turns really green and lush during the growing season. And I am going to link all my previous strawberry videos in the description of this video. So have a great day in the garden, and please subscribe. Thank you.